Hello, this is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker coming to you from Lexington, Kentucky. Today is Monday, November 25th, 2024. The weather conditions in this area on the East Coast, the high today here in Lexington will be 62 degrees. Currently the temperature is 55 and feels like 52. Forecast is afternoon, light rain, highs in the 60s and lows in the upper 30s. And again, rain likely this afternoon. And if you're planning on traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday, you might want to check the arrangements, especially in regards to flights, and see how all that fits in. And the weather here will be almost the same as it was yesterday. It was nice and sunny, pleasant. Sunrise today was at 7:29 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:19 p.m. The wind today will be around 11 miles per hour. The AQI is good at 27. And for all of you allergy sufferers, pollen, none. Again, this is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker. If you're watching, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Again, Monday, November 25th, 2024. If you didn't know or missed the show where I announced it a couple of years ago, I was contacted by Who's Who asking permission to list me in their upcoming edition of their publication. And then they contacted me again and wanted to list me again. So I was pleasantly surprised. The full title for that is Marquis Who's Who in America. So when they were interviewing me as to what I wanted to go in the bio, they asked me about children. I said, yes, I have 3 sons. So they are listed. And the oldest one, what's their names? The oldest one, his name comes from the French language, first and middle. And the middle son, his name is from the Swahili language, first and middle. And the youngest, his first name comes from the Greek language. So there it is. The oldest one, a few months ago, had a medical emergency. I also announced that there on the program. And, he was able to get the medical treatment that he needed. So his recovery is going well. And he's back on his routine. Well, since that happened, before that happened, we were just in contact regularly, but not on a schedule, right? But since that happened, I've incorporated daily contact by phone. So my two, the middle one and the youngest, are still living in the area where they were born and went to school. The oldest one has moved out of that area once and then moved again. So he's moved twice. So now that we have this daily contact thing going and he's gotten back into his routine, he's like, well, on these days it's like this, and on these other days it's like that, and they all have their peculiar way. My oldest one is not really big on saying dad, but he will say yes, sir. My middle one, he's like, hi, Pop. And I'm like, where did he get that one from? And my youngest one, he will say hi, Dad. So my oldest one, he's like following the routine. My middle one, he's like having a conversation with me, expressing why he needs a full 24 hours where he doesn't have to be in contact. And I'm like listening, and I let him finish, what he was saying. And I was like, to do what? So there have been some things running around in my head about my youngest one for a while. So I decided, to get on the phone and call. And a woman answered the phone, and, identified myself and everything. And she wanted to make me believe that she was the authority over my son. So you know the expression sound and fury, I think it's from Shakespeare's Macbeth. Okay, just hold that thought in one hand. And then you have these action pictures where you got the superhero and there's some kind of disaster or explosion and they either jump on it with their body or grab it and manage to compress it down to a size where they can just put it in the palm of their hand and then throw it into the ocean. Okay, put those two things together. Like that's what I was feeling listening to her, right? So I managed to, compress all that into one sentence. Well, you have to fix this. So that is no longer a mystery. It is now a work in progress. And the reason for that feeling is because as a parent, there is no greater, higher authority over you other than God, And if you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a parent, God will send somebody to your door with a message. I gave you something and you're not taking care of it. So, like I said, it's no longer a mystery. It's now a work in progress. So that's kind of like where we are now as a family, approaching Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. And besides my 3 sons, I have 2 siblings, a brother and a sister, and they also have children. So that makes them cousins. And sometimes I just sit and imagine all of them being in the same room. And what I get is a SMH. Some of you probably know what that means. Anyway, some of you also like to go out and eat on the holiday, restaurants and things of that nature. The health department usually inspects restaurants and to make sure that they're fit for people to eat in. So here in Lexington, recently there was a closing of a restaurant apparently that was very popular. And some of the comments that came out of that, at least one, the restaurant was closed for rats, I think, rats in the kitchen. So one person wrote, "I don't care if there's a biohazard lab in the kitchen. The food is that good." So we all have our opinions. So whatever your plans are, for Thursday, I hope you enjoy your day and happy Thanksgiving. That's it. Hashtag.